Hey there. I wanted to make a commentary about something racial, and it's Black History Month, so I'm taking this wonderful opportunity to talk about these issues from my perspective and to just give other people a different perspective. And so I wanted to say something, and actually, I probably could say it really, really quick. So I'll try to keep this under 5 minutes. I want to tell a couple of those stories. I was in, I remember when I started off computer graphics, and I was working for a company where I was a trainer, and it was just like really right after I learned computer graphics. I've always been a teacher, and so I immediately got into teaching positions, and I was more or less learning some of the technology myself, but I believe I had the presentation, and so I could deliver the information, and I knew the information. But I was I would I would get these jobs as teachers, these nice office jobs as teachers, and also like I taught at a couple of colleges and all this stuff, but actually it really has nothing to do with my point. My point is that I was teaching this one job, and there was this guy there. He was more or less the tech support person, but he was really into, and he used to just give me software. And I was part of this group of guys that was had this very expensive software, and they didn't want anybody else to have it, you know. And so, this was like very early. I must have been like, how old was I? I don't know, 20, 28, 29, maybe. 28, 29, 20, yeah, maybe about 28 or 29 years old. And this guy, in spite of all his other friends, who really looked up to him, he made sure that I always had what I needed to learn anything I needed to learn as long as I wanted to learn it. He would provide. He would give me the provision. He would give me the gate, the open door, the opportunity. Every time, in spite of how much everybody else hated me. And they really disliked me because, they had the same software. And they weren't doing some of the things that I was doing with it. The avenues that I had interest in. I had those interests ever since I could remember. And so it was a natural gravitation towards those type of things. And one of those areas was, it was funny, it was mocap and character animation stuff. And just in general, I had an artistic background, and I've always had it. And I, thank God for it. So, but I would do these things, and I don't know what it was. God is no perspective of person, so He can give anybody talent that He wants to, right? So I've been blessed with a talent to be able to do certain things, and but I was gonna make a bad joke about that. But it's been wonderful because I have had to use my talent in order to make it and pay my bills. Or maybe I just decided that I was going to use my God-given talent to pay the bills. So it was like, the talent has to line up and provide for me, and it has. In certain ways, not everything I want, but a lot of the things that uniquely that I want to do. Anyway, 10 minutes is such a short time, and I'm very long-winded. So, anyway, this guy would give me software. And he also had a friend that, and he was another great guy, and he was so cool too, and smart. Man, that guy was smart, and he could do anything too. He was just like bam, anything, he just would knock it out. I had a hard time keeping up with him. That cat was bad, and he'd be rattling off these terms. And he was very, very smart. I think I'm not going to go into it. The only problem is if I met such high quality people like that, that certain people that I expect them to be of that same caliber, and when they display certain traits, I get disappointed that they're not on that level that I thought that they, my expectations of them have been kind of shattered. It's not the fact that I feel bad because of what they said to me. It's just I thought they were better people. And so I get disappointed because, you trust and you believe that. And so that's a lot of black people get hurt like that because, they just expect more. And it's a disappointment. It's like a betrayal. So anyway, that's not my point. The point is how great these people were. And so I thought about that. And there has been so many people who have helped me that when I needed help that were white and that have blessed me and have given me opportunities that is just, I wouldn't have made it without them. Period. I mean, I could tell you some stories. I was running one time. I had an interview in Canada, and I had no way to get there. So I just literally got on the expressway and started jogging to the interview. And it was like miles away. And then it started pouring rain. And I literally had some artwork in a plastic bag, and it was getting destroyed. It was a beautiful piece of artwork, but it was watercolors. And it was so bad and then a car stopped next to me, and I said, I know I'm not supposed to get in no car. I don't know where I am. I got in the car, and there's a white lady in the car, and she just, she said, where are you going? And she literally took me to the place that I was going, and then she dropped me. Before I got in the car, she said, let's pray. And she prayed for me, and I got the job. Well, I had trouble getting in anyway, but I got the job. So, but, just out of absolutely no reason. And so that's my point. It's just like, there's a person who needs help. She saw me running along in the profuse rain. She didn't look at the color of my skin or anything, or that I was a young black man or anything. She just said, or that I was black, and she said, he needs help. And I tell you, I have had people in my life who've given me some of the greatest jobs. I have had some of the greatest experiences of my life. I mean, jobs that flew me to other cities and stuff. And I always, no matter what, I have an allegiance to those people because they had really no other reason other than I was qualified than to help me. I was qualified. That's what I use that term. It's like unqualified, and that is a strong reason to help me. And so that opened the door. And so I wanted to say that, and I really mean to blog about something else. But from my perspective, there has been people throughout history, throughout American history, who have helped black people at the risk of their own detriment, in spite of other people around them, and who honestly could have put their lives at stake to help their fellow men. And I just want to say to those people, God bless you. God bless you.